Hi everyone, Jewel here with J7409 Weather, and of course this morning everyone is talking about the 7.1 earthquake that hit in California in the nighttime hours. Now, one thing we can be thankful for, there has been no deaths with these quakes as they've happened or the aftershocks that are occurring. There have been some that have been injured, but they look like they're going to be fine. So that's one thing that we can be thankful of. Now, this little map just shows exactly where it was, the epicenter, okay? All right. And what time it happened. It was 17 km northeast of Ridgecrest, California. Now, it was felt as far as Bakersfield. I mean, all the way down to Victorville. Parts of Nevada felt it. Las Vegas over in here. I mean, it just went all around. And folks, there's already been over 600 aftershocks so far. But the earthquake is one thing, but people are having to deal with other problems, such as natural gas pipelines bursting, causing fires. There's been many fires. The hospital there, close to Ridgewood, or Ridgecrest, I should say, it had to evacuate, taking people out, hooked up to IVs, all kind of things. Can you only imagine the horror these people are going through? And if you're in a hospital getting treatment, what are you going to do? They've made a makeshift tent outside where other people can go for refuge too if they'd like to. But it seems to be, from what I can find out, most of the people who are okay, and mostly everybody is, like I say, there have been a few injuries, but no deaths. Most of the people are staying outside of their homes tonight, either in an RV or just getting together with friends and family and neighbors and hanging out in the yard for the nighttime hours. Can you only imagine how the little children are scared? And, well, the big folks are scared too. Now, could there be another bigger quake to come? Well, I don't do earthquakes a lot, but I do mine a different way than everybody else does. But I do think there's anywhere from a 4 to a 10% chance there could be a larger quake. So if anything happens, I'll let you know about it. Please keep everyone out in these areas in your thoughts and prayers as they go through this earthquake situation. Now, what is going on with that system that I showed you yesterday? Everybody wants to know what's going to happen down from the Gulf area. Well, folks, the models are not quite all in agreement. It seems the GFS model is running a little fast right now, and it's showing something entirely different than the European model. This is a European model, and this is courtesy of Tropical Tidbits where I'm using this from, but it seems that most of the guidance models are still suggesting that a current Mississippi Valley impulse that's going to happen off in a few days may truck into the southeast of the Gulf Coast, and it should be from a wavy front, okay? And I'm going to show you that front in just a few moments. Now, it looks like it's going to make a surface low near the Gulf Coast. Now, the GFS model showing it a little ahead of time, but what I want you to really pay attention to, okay, here is a big old high. It's going to push stuff, right? Here is a low. Here is a high. Now, you see this is set for today. Watch your timestamp. We will move up to tomorrow. This high is even bigger and more prominent now down in here than it was before. And here we go. Here's Monday. Here's Tuesday. Here's Wednesday. We still don't see anything, but these right in here, this is the trophy wavy front, okay? What is happening? Remember I told you highs push? Here's a low all the way through here. Lows pull. It snagged the end of this trophy wavy front, and there it is right there. As we move along, it becomes a low system by Thursday, And then by Friday, it starts to be a real low. And you can see by next Saturday what it's looking like. It's getting some isobars around it. And look there, by next Sunday. Now this is the European model once again. Those isobars are tightly compact, okay, at this point, what it's showing now. Now remember, all of this can change. All of this can change. But we're going to check out a few more things I want to show you. Now here is next Monday. This is on the 15th. It moves on up, looking like, let's go back just one. Looking like it's going to come over the Florida Panhandle, the Alabama Panhandle that kind of connects to the Florida Panhandle, and Mississippi. You should get the most of it with Louisiana. Of course, you would get some rain and some of the wind, but nothing compared to Mississippi and those panhandle areas. That's what it's looking like right now. And then it will move on up, looking like going into western Tennessee. But the isobars are coming apart now. And then it's just a low system again as it moves on up towards Ohio and West Virginia. Now, this is the ECMWF, the European model for cyclonic vorticity. This is going to show if there is vorticity with the wind, that could make it actually be something of concern. And you see today's date right up there. It's Saturday the 6th. My mother's birthday, if she was still with us today. Now for Sunday, we're going to hop on over to Tuesday. Now you can see this wavy front right here with all these little different cells in it. It pulls apart. Here's the big high pressure pushing this way. We have a low pressure coming in over here. It snags the very bottom of this. Okay, I don't have fancy words like the meteorologists use, but I'm telling you, it snags the lower portion of this wavy front, and there it is right there. So as we move along, then it starts to form some rain showers by Thursday. Then it gets some isobars on it by Friday. Then look at that. Boom, wow. They start to tightly get compacted. Now, do not fret and do not worry. Just be prepared. I'm not saying there's going to be a hurricane. I am not saying there's going to be a tropical storm. It just looks like, from the European model right now, there could be a tropical storm. It could turn into more. It could turn into less. But you see where it's located. This is a week from today. If I suggest anyone down in this area from Louisiana over to the Florida Panhandle area, you need to be aware of what's going on. Now, as we move on up, it went too fast for me there. Let's go back one. This is where it looks like it should come in, and it does look like it could be a tropical storm at least, okay? With heavy rain, with some winds, and it looks like it's going to come in over the Florida Panhandle and that little panhandle there in Alabama. Some of Louisiana may get some of this also, as you can see on the map. But the majority of the impact, whatever it may be, little or less, is going to be right now looking like Mississippi. So you folks need to get on the ball and prepare. Then it hops on up to western Tennessee, still bringing the isobars are starting to come apart now. This is on Monday the 15th. And then dwindling away to probably some severe rain showers and weather that everyone is kind of getting used to in this day and time now as it moves up into the Ohio region, parts of West Virginia and Pennsylvania. And this is as far as it goes out, which would be Tuesday the 16th. Right quickly, I just wanted to show you guys, this is the GFS cyclonic vorticity. Okay? So it's going to look quite different than the European model. You can see the timestamp. We'll move it on through here and let it truck on through really fast. but you see the wavy fronts. The GFS model's running ahead of the European model. Which one's right? We'll have to wait and see. Nothing may come of what I have showed you, and something may come from what I've showed you. Nobody knows at this time, okay? All I'm trying to do is to tell you folks to be prepared if you're around the Panhandle down here in Alabama and Florida, Mississippi, and the coastal sections of Louisiana and here, and especially in Mississippi. On the European model, it looks like it's going through here. Now as we move on, you see there's a little bit trying to happen, but it has a higher pressure that's pushing off, pushing this stuff away. This really doesn't hang around long enough to cause too much of a problem, except some rain with some gusty winds in the Panhandle of Florida on the GFS map right now. And then it moves on up, and you can see there's hardly not that much vorticity with it. There's some, but it doesn't look like really a tropical storm. It looks more like a very strong low pressure system on the GFS map. Here we have a look from the National Hurricane Center for the tropical cyclone activity for the Atlantic. Nothing in the next 2 days. They have nothing in the next 5 days as of right now because they simply do not know. I was reading all the reports that were in from the National Hurricane Center on all the model readings that they have done. It is too early to tell, and they do not know at this time which model is going to prove to be right. I will keep my eyes on it, and I will keep you updated. But once again, in this area right in here, be aware of what's going on. Now as we turn over to the Eastern Pacific and a little of the Central Pacific. Well, Barbara right now, look at this. She's just a big old rainmaker. I mean, you know what I'm saying? She's post-tropical cyclone Barbara. She's got winds of 40 miles per hour. The minimum central pressure now is 1,000 millibars, and she's moving west at 17 miles per hour. But the other system that we've been watching that yesterday should have turned into something has its Cosmic. Now, it's got 50 mile per hour winds. Its minimum central pressure is 1,001 millibar, and it's moving west-northwest at 12 knots or 14 miles per hour. On the tracking chart from the National Hurricane Center, it's looking like it is going to go south. This is Barbara, south of the Hawaii Islands, and it's going to be turning just into this depression system as it is right now. That's what it will be. Looking like it should clear all of the islands at this time. And for Cosme, here it is this morning at 8 o'clock. You can see it is a tropical storm, but it's not going to last long before it starts to disintegrate down also, as sheer wind and cooler waters it will be going into. So hopefully it won't be any threat to anyone either. That's what it's looking like right now. As we check out where the severe weather may occur today for Saturday, the 6th of July, 2019. There you have it. It's looking like, folks, isolated severe thunderstorms are probably going to be expected from mid-late afternoon into this evening, particularly from the Colorado-Wyoming Front Range into the adjacent Central High Plains. Now, a few locally severe storms may also be noted into the northern Rockies of western Montana. Strong gusty winds also may accompany thunderstorms across the New England area and to the upper Ohio Valley. So there you have it. That's what the summary of what it should look like should happen. But where it's light green, splash and dash and popcorn thunderstorms are going to be everywhere, from Florida all the way up to North Dakota and across to Washington State and parts of eastern Oregon. So you see the map. Please take care if you're in any of these areas. These storms can always change and turn into something more severe. So far as tornado activity, we have a 5% chance of tornado activity that could occur in portions of Wyoming, Nebraska, and California. The 2% runs from Montana all the way down to Colorado. So this is the greatest chance right in here of tornado activity coming along with these severe thunderstorms. When it comes to large or severe hail accompanying these storms today, that's going to be right in this area. All of this area is at 15%, but it's looking like really you could get some large hail from portions of Wyoming, Nebraska, and Colorado, with a 5% chance from Montana down to New Mexico and the panhandle of Oklahoma. And so far as very windy conditions, well, we got a good 15% chance of some strong winds up in Maine today as it moves on down a little. And over here in Nebraska, Wyoming, Colorado, and Kansas. This is where the stronger winds are going to be. 5% chance, though, with any of these thunderstorms from Montana, parts of Idaho, all the way down to Oklahoma, Texas, and New Mexico. And when we come to the east, we have that 5% chance that comes all the way down into Maryland, covers the entire state of New Jersey, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. You see it all, Pennsylvania, large portion of Ohio and West Virginia, and portions of Virginia. And that's a check of your weather today, folks. I'll keep you posted on that system. I'm watching it very, very closely. And please, if you live in those areas that I've showed you, go ahead and be prepared. Whether it turns into something or whether it don't, you'll be ready one way or the other. And if you have prepared, nothing will go to waste. I'm telling you this stuff because it's going to be in like 86-degree water. It could blow up and turn into a tropical storm at least. So please keep this in mind. Everybody have a good day, a safe day, a blessed day. I love you all so much. And thank each of you for everything you do for me. Peace, love, and kindness to all. Thanks so much for watching.